And have your arms out wide. Bring your knees together, bring your feet together, and let your head just drop down. And just to stretch that back out, we're going to bring our knees over to one side. We're not looking to get them all the way down to the ground on the first go. Bring them back to center and bring them over to the other side. We're going to do this a few times so we can increase that range of motion as we go. Coming back to center. And keep the head on the ground, but you can look out in the opposite direction to the legs as well. Inhaling to center, so add the breath now, and exhaling over in the other direction. There's a nice one to do if you've had a good night's sleep and you've been quite still, you haven't moved a lot. It just stretches the back out. One more time, up to center and over to the side. Good. Come back to center. We're going to part our knees slightly and lift them up and take a hold of those knees. So we're going to draw little circles with them. So both knees moving independently in opposite directions, and the hands are doing the moving just in one direction, and then swap direction. So let's go in the other direction. Shoulders are still grounded, head is still relaxed. Feel the whole of the back of your body in contact with the mat. Ground yourself here today. Another beautiful day. If you can, get outside, get some sunshine. Nice. Okay, bring those feet down to the floor, and you're going to have your knees and your feet hip width apart. We're going to do some glute bridges. This is to stretch the back, so nice and slow. Stay looking up to the ceiling with your chin tucked. Lift those hips up slowly off the ground, send them up to the sky, and then bring them down again. As they come down, take a hold of your knees and hug them into your chest. It's like an upside down cat-cow. Let's do that again. Feet come down, and we inhale, send those hips up. Hips come down. And we exhale here, hugging your knees into your chest. We'll do that one more time. So feet down, hips up, and then hips down and knees up. Okay, bring your feet down to the floor again, but this time the feet are going to be open, maybe as wide as your mat. And the knees are going to go side to side, slightly different dynamic here. Before the feet were together and the knees were together. This time they're open out. So this is more in the hips and less in the back. Inhaling to center, exhaling over to the side, just gently moving. Again, you can add the head. The head can go side to side as well. Head goes in the opposite direction. Good. Right, let's come up off the floor. So bring those knees to center and lift them up. Grab a hold of the backs of your thighs and come on up. So we're going to stay sitting with our legs along the length of our mat. Feet flexed, and just find your sit bones. So find those bony bits of your bum. Bring your hands behind you, have your fingers facing back, and just open out through your chest and your throat so the head comes up to the sky. Inhaling here. And we're going to come up and exhale into a gentle forward fold. We're going to do a few of these. Keeping your head up, trying not to roll forwards. Lean forward instead. And then inhaling again, bringing those hands behind you Really stick that chest up to the sky and stretch through the front of your throat. Now come back to center, making that L shape with your body. Keep your chest high and just lean forwards for a stretch in that lower back rather than a rounding through the spine. Nice. And then come back to that L shape again, so the torso is upright. Move your shoulders from side to side. Keep your feet flexed. And then take your right arm and bring it on the outside of the left leg. It doesn't have to go super low down. Bring the other hand into the opposite hip crease and just hold it there. Just feel that stretch. Keep your chest high. Bring your hands out. We're going to go in the other direction, so you'll be looking away from me this time. Nice gentle stretch, gentle twist in the lower back. And do the other side again, nice and gently. Right hand outside of the leg. Left hand behind you. Keep your chest high. We want the chin parallel to the ground. It's the chest that lifts. Maybe you go a little deeper this time. And then come back to center again. And to the other side. Oh, that's nice. And then coming back to center again. Lift up through your chest, really lift up. You can even bring your hands into your hip creases here. We're going to come into a forward fold, maybe a little deeper than we did before. Exhaling here because you're pushing all the air out of your stomach as you come forwards. Good. And then inhale and come up. So you're going to turn to face me now. So have your knees bent and have your feet nice and wide. So just what we did down on the ground, but we're going to do it sitting. So we're going to move those knees from side to side. You're supporting your torso with your hands. And the knees go from side to side. It is. It's good for the hips, but it gives you really nice stretch in that back as well. Nice and gentle. Good. And as long as Bob's not sitting on your lap, Sue, you can do this while you're watching the telly. Just sit down on the floor and do it. Good. Okay, come back to center. Just going to do some trouser management here and move myself back so you can see me. And we're still on that theme of twisting, so keep your knees bent. Take your right hand on the outside of the left knee. And again, lift up through the chest and bring the left hand behind you. Just twist your torso slightly. So a little bit of core strength needed to keep yourself upright. But you can lean on that hand behind you. And then come back to center, walk your hands over. Right hand comes behind you. Lift up through that chest. Left hand on the outside of the right leg. Oh. You get the benefit of me having a very stiff back today. And then coming back to center. Straighten those legs out. It doesn't matter if they're not super wide. As you can see, I don't have amazing flexibility in my hips. Lift up through your chest and come into a fold. So that might just be a gentle angle here. We don't have to go super far down. But we're getting a nice stretch in those hamstrings here, as well as that lower back. And have a little wiggle here as well. Keep your head up, keep that chest up. Good. Okay. Bring those feet in. And we're going to come to all fours to do our cat-cows. So hands under shoulders and knees under hips. If you can push into the tops of your feet, do that. It just gives you a nice stretch across the front of the feet, nicely aligned, and then around through your back as you tuck your chin. Cat stretch. Inhaling, lifting your head, belly down to the floor. Exhaling into cat again. Inhaling into cow. And on this last one, if you want to roll through your hips, you can. So you can move side to side and roll a little as well. Find some freestyle movement in your spine, in your hips and in your shoulders. Nice. Good. And then come back to that nicely aligned tabletop. If you need to have a look at me, you can just turn your head to the side. I'm going to get you to send your right leg out behind you. The right leg goes behind you in a half bird dog. Really stretch that foot away, whether you point or flex the foot. Feel the back of the leg engage. Support the front of your body with your shoulders. Good. Bring it down and replace. Left leg goes out behind you. Really good for the back. Really good to strengthen those glutes. To support that lower back. Good. And then bring both knees down and come down into child's pose. So you may want to go wider with your knees depending on what your child's pose looks like. Send your hips down towards your heels. Forehead comes towards the ground. Stretching through the back of the body. It's nice. Inhale here. Exhale. Feel that stretch a little bit more. And then inhale to all fours. Stretch those hands and come up. One more cat stretch. Exhaling here. One more cow. Inhaling. Good. And then we're going to come down to Sphinx pose. This is the opposite to that child's pose because here we are in a back bend. So the knees go back a little, the hips come down to the ground, elbows under shoulders. And lift your chest. Chest is nice and proud, and you're looking out to the horizon as well here. Good. Pushing down into your hips, pushing down into the tops of your feet. Squeeze those glutes. Because it's a back bend, so we're supporting those glutes. And we're going to go back to child's pose now. So big move, hands where shoulders were. Push up to all fours and sink back into child's pose. It might be that you end up in puppy pose with those hips high. That's okay as well. Have your arms active here. The elbows are up off the ground. Good. Got that lovely stretch in the upper back. And then inhale and come forwards and settle down into Sphinx pose again. Bring those elbows down. Big moves for the back here today. Good. So elbows, bring your elbows forwards a little bit, Pat. That's it. See how that lifts you up a little bit more. Good. And then come back up to tabletop. Now this is a wide tabletop, which means we're beautifully set up for a down dog. So let's tuck our toes under and come up to a down dog. So push those heels down. Head comes between the elbows. Let the head go. And bend and straighten your legs. So pushing one heel down and then the other one. The heels of the hands are pushing into the mat as well. Good. Inhale and come forwards, and then gently lower to your knees. Sink back into child's pose or puppy pose. Forehead down to the ground. And inhale up to all fours again. Tuck your toes. Exhale to down dog. Let your head go here. Shake that head around, so feel the stretch in the neck as your head just moves around. Lovely. And then inhale and come forwards to all fours. I'm going to get you to turn to face me on your knees. And go wide with your knees. That's it. And what's that? I was still on all fours, but on my knees. Okay. So send your right leg out to the side. And then lean. Left hand finds the floor. And reach that right hand up. Lovely side bend here. Lovely supported side bend. And then inhale and come up. Back to the knees. Left leg goes out. Floor's there, find it. And reach up. Lovely stretch down the side of the body. Nice. And then come back up again. Good. While we're here, I'm going to turn 45 degrees. Stay where you are. We're going to reach our hands up. Big inhale here. Exhale, bring your hips down towards your heels. So a little bit of glute work. Nice. And then come up. Squeeze those glutes. Circle your arms behind you and bring them into the small of your back. So we can do a back bend. Camel pose. So squeeze your elbows together nice and send your hips forwards. Lovely. Nice one. Good. Come down to all fours again. We're going to tuck our toes and come back up onto our feet. And then come on up. Good. Go nice and wide with your legs. We're going to do some crouching side lunges. So let's start with the left leg. Both sets of toes are facing out. Bend that left knee so that it comes over the ankle. The hips go back. And feel for that stretch on the inside of the right leg. Come back to center and go to the other side. And those hips go back. So it's like a lean forwards. Good. Come back to center. Just check in. Maybe you want to go a little wider because that knee stops over the ankle. It doesn't go further. And then the hips go back. Can you feel that stretch? You can even come a little further forwards. Good. Come back to center. Can you feel the stretch on the insides of your legs? Yeah, good. Yes. Nice. Come back up to center, and now we're super wide, wedged in there. Come up a little bit, so heel toe up, and come down into a sumo squat. Just moving gently from side to side in those hips down, head up. Nice. Now the hips are going to come up. The head is going to go down as we exhale, so in a forward fold. You can go straight with your legs if you want to here, because we've done a bit of stretching with the hamstrings. Or if it's too intense, keep the knees bent. And then inhale into that sumo squat again. The hips come back, and you can bring the palms of your hands together here. Good. Stay low in your legs. Reach your hands up, and then come up out of your legs. Good. Bring your hands behind you. We're going to heel toe those feet all the way in. And pull those arms down. So opening out through your chest here. Nice. Big inhale here. Really fill your chest full of air. And as you exhale, squeeze your shoulders together. And then unclasp those hands and just roll those shoulders up, back and down. We started with the lower body. I'm going to give a bit of love to that upper body. Back to our mountain pose, have your feet hip width apart. Just rolling those shoulders up, back and down. Pull the shoulder blades down your back and look over your left shoulder. Keep your chin parallel to the ground and come to center. Look over your right shoulder. Listen for all the clicks and cracks in your neck. See if any of them feel good. Lovely. Come back to center and then tuck your chin. We exhale here. We're closing through the front of your body. Exhaling, compressing through the throat. Inhale as you open out through the throat. And then exhale and tuck your chin. Inhale again and look up at the ceiling. And then bring your face back, facing forward, so your chin is parallel to the ground. We're going to draw circles with our head. So utilizing the sideways and the up and down movement. Rotate through your head in one direction, whichever direction feels most natural. And play with the size of the circles that you're doing. I specifically didn't say let's make spirals because I want you to explore that range. You might find you can go a little bit deeper, a little bit wider each time. Nice. Stop with your chin tucked. Lift your head, look forwards. We're going to go in the opposite direction. Now it might feel really weird. You might not be able to move as smoothly as the other side. Oh yeah, doesn't feel smooth for me, and there was a little bit of a sharp feeling on one side, so be aware of what you're feeling here in your neck. We can carry so much tension here. Those muscles are all very specialized. Keeping our heads upright. Good. Okay. Stop with your face facing forwards. And inhale your hands up. So reaching up high. Bring your palms together and bring your hands in front of you. Inhale, bring your hands up. And you can look up at those thumbs as you go. Exhale, bring those hands down in front of you. Stop there. Bring your right arm out. And then bring that left hand towards the right one and pull back as if you're opening out through a bow and arrow. Fully extend that arm out to the side. And then the right hand goes over to the left one and pulls back. Now this move can be very meditative. Left hand to right hand again. It helps with mobility in the shoulders. But you can also just trace a line along the front of your arms. So my arms are bare. I can feel my fingertips moving along my skin. Lovely. Right hand reaches. Nice. And then stop here. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bring your hands down behind you again. And clasp them. Open out through your chest and pull down. Nice. So keep your hands where they are and bring your feet a little bit wider. Lift up through your chest with a big inhale and come into a forward fold. So let those hands come up into the air as you fold. Let your head go. Maybe even shake that head out. Let your jaw relax. Gentle bend in your knees if it's really intense. And then a big inhale as you come up. So push away from the floor with your feet and come all the way up. Oh, that's nice. Unclasp your hands, bring them in front of you again. This time we're going to clasp them and round through that back as if you're hugging a ball. So round through your belly as well, pull your back, and bring your head down to help with that hug. Nice. Open out, and then roll your shoulders up, back and down. Okay, we're going to do some warrior twos now. So step nice and wide with your legs. Send your right toes out along the length of your mat, left toes in slightly, hips and shoulders towards me. And we're going to bend that right knee until it stops over the ankle. And just check in, make sure it's pointing in the same direction as your toes. And we let go of our body, bring those arms up. Big inhale here, exhale, ground yourself. This is a simple warrior two, strengthening the glutes, grounding down through those legs. We can extend it by reaching and then bringing the forearm to the thigh. Now the forearm is not resting on the thigh, we're actually pushing away from the thigh, and that left arm comes up and over. That's it. And be active in those hands. Feel that ground underneath you. Big inhale here. Stay like this in your legs. Come up and over with the arms in the other direction. Reversed warrior two. And look up at your hands. This is also called sun warrior. I'm so grateful for the sun today. Gorgeous, ladies. Come back up to center. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bringing your hands to your hips. And push away from the floor. Going to change the legs over. Left toes along the length of the mat, right toes in. Hips and shoulders facing towards me. And left knee goes over left ankle. Inhale your arms up. Exhale. Ground down, relax those shoulders, nice. Inhale, as you exhale, reach over those left toes. Forearm comes to thigh, and it's an active connection here. We're pushing away, and the right arm comes up and over. Feel that stretch down the side of your body, the strength in your legs. Remember, legs stay where they are. As you inhale, come up and over. Slowly. You can look up at those hands. Yes, feel that stretch through the fronts of the ribs. These muscles that we're stretching in the ribs are going to help you to breathe efficiently. And then inhale. Back to center. And bring your hands to your hips. Push away from the floor. And heel toe your feet in. Back to mountain pose. Let go of those hips. Inhale into an extended mountain. So reach up high, bring the palms of your hands together. And exhale those hands down to heart center. Are we done? Namaste. Thank you.